What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Coin Launch Lounge. If it's your first time coming in, thanks for stopping by. If it's not, thanks for coming back. Today we've got Valhalla and the CEO Alex, who's going to be representing the project. Alex, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to you. If you could do me a favor and introduce the Valhalla project and introduce yourself in just a few sentences, and we can start there.
Hi guys, I'm Alex. I'm the CEO of Valhalla Token. So basically, we are building a safe trading platform with trading tools, whale tracking tools, and information and tutorial hub with long-term goals of creating a launching an IDO platform as well. We also work with some really awesome artists to create an artist collective, and we are going to be launching a merch store. We are a utility token that will be also a 10% rewards token. So there's a lot of incentive for holding there. So.
Well, thank you for the brief introduction. Really appreciate it. And then if you want to bring on Ant, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Anthony. I'm the COO. I've been around the Valhalla project since it launched, and I'm ISTQB certified quality insurance. So part of what I do alongside many other things is making sure that the software that we're going to be putting out is fully functional and meets the requirements of what everyone wants.
Perfect. Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, I'm looking at your pre-sale here on your website. It's looking like you guys are about 70 BNB in the sale. Soft cap 150, hard cap 300. Can you tell us, Alex, I'm not too familiar with this, and I don't think anyone else is, that's in here from our community at least. This was launched once before, correct? And this is kind of like a relaunch.
Yes. So interestingly enough, there was a project back in April called Ragnarok that needed to do a V2 and actually does not exist anymore. It was merged into a project that the same developer that works on Shibnobi works on. But it released 2 test tokens before they relaunched and gave them away as community coins. And I took on Valhalla while Cliff went and took on Asgard. And we were under the impression that our contract would have the same contract that they were relaunching with, which was 5 and 5 to liquidity and reflection back to holders. But we ended up with a contract that had 10% reflections to holders, which was awesome, but nothing to auto liquidity. And we actually hit 2.4 mil on our 4th day, launching from a pretty low MCAP. And we realized we weren't going to be able to keep up with it manually doing liquidity pairs. So we decided we absolutely had to do a V2. Otherwise, it would not have been stable for our investors.
Okay. And on the V1, you guys migrated all the liquidity from the V1?
Yes. We drained the liquidity for everybody that sent in token. It was released, like I said, as a test token with ownership renounced and locked liquidity, and just taken on as a community project in the beginning. So we drained as much liquidity as we could, which is actually more than we thought we were going to. And yes, that's actually what we've been working with for marketing leading up to launch. So we did hold.
Whale tracker.
Sorry about that.
No, you're so good. I'm just interjecting. I love the whale tracker. Like there's only one whale tracker that I know of as of right now that's actually like decent to use. And yeah, I hate it. I hate it. So nice whale tracker. Cool.
Yeah, we actually already have an alpha version of that Ant, I think, can probably drop a video in the chat of some of the footage of it. Yeah.
Yeah, please, if you could. So this is exciting stuff. I'm just briefly skimming through the white paper here. Can you tell us about some of the things that you think are just really outstanding and some of the things that really set you guys apart compared to other tokens?
Absolutely. And actually, I'm going to let Ant take this one because I know that he very much likes to brag about Valhalla as well. So
give me 1 second. I'm just putting the video in.
No worries. Take your time.
I will say that one thing that is very exciting is that, so it is a 10% rewards token, which by default gives out BUSD, but that will be something that will be choosable by holder as well. So you could actually change it to any BEP20 token, which is something that will roll out with our dashboard. So, but that is something that we implemented as well.
Okay, okay, cool. So this is what you just put in the chat. I'm looking at it here. Oh, so this is kind of the alpha version of your whale tracker.
Yeah, so there's a few bits we need to roll out. What we want to integrate. So when you look at a wallet, it will show you the holdings alongside the transactions. If you look in the video, just towards the end of it, you can see that it live updates. So the moment that wallet made a trade, it immediately updated. And the long-term plan is to build it and integrate it into a mobile app. So if you want to track transactions live, you could get a push notification telling you that either your wallet or a whale that you're tracking will auto update. So if you're following their calls, you should get a call within a minute or of them doing what they're purchasing.
Super cool. I mean, that's completely epic. And are you guys going to have an API link to this? Like, will people be able to feed off of your API and maybe if they wanted to set something, program something that would, uh, make a purchase if another whale made a purchase or something? Is that something you guys have in the plans?
We'd really
No,
like to implement eventually an auto buy feature where you'd be able to swap for whatever token it is that you're watching the whale buy, but that would be something that I think is a little bit more long term.
yeah, short term, what we want to include is the option to buy there and then in the app, similar to like a PooCoin swap or something like that. So that you can manually buy. I always feel there's a bit of a concern if you have things auto buying, but I suppose if people want to take that risk themselves, then we can implement something that would allow that.
Oh yeah, man. Risk is the name of the game. People are degenerate. They don't know it. If it's riskier, it's better in Binance Smart Chain, right? For some reason, legitimate projects struggle to fill, and then complete scams will fill 2,500 BNB in like 3 minutes. It's craziest
Yeah,
thing.
it's sometimes absolute insanity with that.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, you expect nothing less, though. You expect nothing less, right? This
Yeah.
brand top left, the little crypto sonar logo. What is that? I'm just curious.
That's actually something
So
we were discussing today. So that is something that we may that changed, but that was the logo that our developers, when they developed it originally, had given it. So we
Oh, of
may
the
rebrand it to Valhalla branding, but as of right now, that's in the beta version. That's what our coders put as the logo. So
Cool, and it looks like you guys are pulling from Dex Guru down below, right? For the charting and
yeah,
the liquidity
yeah,
and all that, which is a
yeah.
good platform. We like Dex Guru. They're really solid. So this looks really promising. This looks like something that I would use. Do I need to be a token holder to use this?
Yes. So
yes.
actually, you will have to hold Valhalla token in order to use the whale tracker. And the more Valhalla that you hold, the more wallets you'll be able to track. So, or there will be a fee.
Cool. I like that. I do like the name too, Italian Panda. I like the name Valhalla. How did that? I'm curious about the name and the logo. How did this come about? Because the logo is really cool to me. Really, really cool.
Oh, so to be completely honest, I didn't pick the name originally, but it's quite fitting that I like Norse mythology very much. I call my car Freya, and my cat's name is Loki. So it was very fitting that I ended up with a token called Valhalla, which, if you don't know, is in Norse mythology, the place where Viking warriors go after battle, well, after dying in battle. But it's essentially Viking heaven. So yeah. Um, but the logo, so we actually rebranded the logo from the V1. We started with like two crossed axes, but I wanted it to be something that was appealing to, I mean, I feel like sometimes logos don't necessarily appeal to the females in crypto community that might want to rock the merch too. So we wanted something that would appeal to both men and women. So, and also something that incorporated the fact that we are a charity token as well. And that tree represents Yggdrasil, which is basically the tree of life in Norse mythology. And we had that custom drawn for us actually. So
Yeah, it's super cool. And where I live in Puerto Rico has a tree just like this in the center, like with all the roots and everything exposed. And it's funny, they call it the tree of life in the community. It's like the name for it is the tree of life. So I didn't know that was actually a thing, but I guess it is. It's pretty cool.
it is in lots of forms of mythology, but Norse mythology it's called Yggdrasil.
Wow, super cool. So, yeah, I do want to hop into the token in a second, but I'm really interested in your utility. So your main utility is going to be this wallet, the whale tracker and transaction tracker, right? And then your
Yep.
second utility is going to be the education hub, which we are
Yep.
huge on. We do education every week here. Monday, 1 p.m. EST. We teach people how to not get scammed in crypto. I do it personally for 2 hours. So yeah, we're huge on the
Actually
education.
admin a Facebook group that is a call and crypto education group as well. So I've kind of been soft doxed before I like publicly doxed this past week to a lot of our community. So
Yeah.
um, we like to teach people how to not get wrecked.
Well, it's very easy to get wrecked in Binance Smart Chain. There's no question about that. And yeah,
Absolutely.
we're all about that. So I love to see Education Hub. Are people going to have to uh, cryptocurrency trading Cryptopedia? So are you guys partnering with Cryptopedia to get that information out?
No, we're calling the hub like a sort of Cryptopedia. That won't actually be what we're calling it.
To
So
be honest, I thought Cryptopedia was already a thing. If it's not, I'd be surprised. And some
if it is, then Tree, who is on my team and wrote this, didn't know that.
cool. Yeah, I think that crypto education is wildly overlooked and extremely necessary. But I'm curious, are people going to have to hold your token to get access to your education?
So we're gonna make basically all of the basic information available to everyone, and then like further tutorials, like very advanced TA and stuff like that would be something that you could maybe access with a fee with the token. But that's something that we would discuss, and we do a lot of community involvement when it comes to letting people vote. So that would be something that we would discuss when we roll that out. So.
This is so important to me, right? Because before crypto, I came from you know, digital marketing just as a whole, let it be drop shipping, or selling digital content, courses, things like that. I built marketing campaigns for people. So I can tell you from my personal experience, education is the ultimate sales machine. If you can bring people in cold market into an education hub and properly implant into people what to do and how to do it, then you can use that to your advantage as an ultimate sales machine. So I think having the barrier to entry to the education as low as possible super important.
Yep.
Yeah, that very, very important. Sorry, go ahead, Ant.
So yeah, we entirely agree with that. The idea of the tutorial hub is to be one of the entry points for people to find the Valhalla website. Um, then we provide, you know, a lot of the guides that we find that people are coming to us and instead asking questions. How do we get onto MetaMask? And there's guides already out there. We want to create a single point of information for a lot of the basics. Um, that will bring people to us. Then we'll put Alex is very good at making calls and looking into other tokens. So we'll be putting guides and tips on how to find the right calls and the safe calls. And then yeah, the only things we would be charging for a more advanced guides. We have our Solidity developer actually already, well, one of our Solidity developers already makes guides on YouTube on how to develop in Solidity. So we would be looking at, you know, trying to include more advanced guides on Solidity development, and things like that might be areas we charge for. But in general, the tutorial hub is an entry point to the rest of our ecosystem.
Okay, sounds good. um yeah, I mean education is the best, man. It's the best thing that you could do. And then you guys have the charity. What's the Valkyrie graveyard?
Okay, so this is one of my favorite parts of Valhalla, and it was originally the first use case we applied when we took it on as a community token. So, as I said earlier, our V1 contract didn't automatically have anything going to LP. So, what we had done was we have a very strong community, and we had our community actually all donated some of their Valhalla to make the Odin wallet, the top holder, which would never sell a single token. And we were planning on doing manual liquidity pairs with its reflections, but with it not being sustainable, we also had the Valkyrie wallet, which could collect basically dust that was left in your wallet, which would allow us to pull liquidity from it. Now, in this V2, we don't have to use any of that for liquidity, obviously, because we have automatic LP pairing. So everything that goes to the Valkyrie wallet will all be used for donations. So essentially, you can send over the leftover bits that are in your wallet that you can't do anything with, and they build up in our wallet. And when they're large enough for us to make a sell, we can pull the liquidity from a failed project and then use that for donation. And the Graveyard app is going to be something that we're going to basically create an interactive app where you can explore the Valkyrie graveyard and see like stats on coins that have been sent there.
This is
And we also
idea. I don't want to interrupt. This is an epic idea. Like epic.
thank
I
you.
mean,
You can
yes,
actually credit that
so
to
cool.
Ant. That was Ant's idea. That's what made him COO.
Yeah, that's how I ended up joining the project. Is I was listening to voice chats, and we were trying to figure out a use case. And then I was like mid workout and had this idea that actually there's a lot of coins that are holding a very small amount of dust, and it can cost more to sell the coin because of tax and gas fees than it actually would be worth to either send it away. It's actually sometimes cheaper to send a token than try and sell it. So if you don't want it in your wallet anymore, send it to the donation point, and as everyone sends them in, we can make donations with that. And yeah, we turn it's the same as the foreign coin collections you see at airports, but for crypto.
Wow. Epic. And what's funny is I always say that like these graveyard tokens in my wallet are kind of like NFTs, right? They're like useless to
Mhm.
everybody but me. I like looking at them. I like some of them. Some of them I send right to the burn wallet because it was such a miserable disgrace of a token. It belongs in the burn wallet. But some of them I keep and hold in my wallet because for comedy reasons. I've got one that was called Seven, and they rugged me. It was a token where you could only sell on Sunday. It was when I first got into crypto, and they rugged me, and I just thought it was such a brilliant scam that I kept the token. I was like, you guys deserve this one. And if I bought Squid Games, I would not send Squid Games to the Valkyrie wallet. I would have kept that one. But the rest of the rugs that I've been a victim of, I would send to the Valkyrie wallet. So I'm curious if these tokens are worth virtually nothing. How is it? I mean, how is it of any benefit, and how are you guys give away money based on these?
So basically, they're worth nothing in your wallet, but when it gets a wider adoption and they build up, so like, say 100 people are sending over the same token, then we start to generate some sort of value, and then we're able to suck some liquidity out.
You hear that,
Um,
Tiger? You got a place to send your Uncle Doggy. Yo, Tiger.
And actually, even further than that, and more exciting, is we plan to gamerize this as well. So basically, have a leaderboard, um, and then use some of our promotional. That's something we'll get to in the tokenomics, but we have some awesome whale team-controlled whale wallets that are locked, that are promo wallets for the rewards, and that'll be something that some of those rewards will be going to is giveaways and things like that for the gamerization of the
Guys,
donation platform.
can I jump in with a couple of questions? Is that all right?
Please, Milky.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. However, a lot of these rug pulls are basically, well, any token that dies where you've got dust, like the liquidity pool is going to unlock on a certain part where it's going to fully rug. So it's what's your strategy behind that? Because you're going to have to massively market that out to those people that were in that token. Have you
Yeah,
thought about
so
sending messages on wallets, because you can find the
we've
holders?
actually thought about sending messages on wallets, and also like rating the community of things that get rugged as immediately after they get rugged, to bring them over to a safe trading platform, obviously, and a place to donate. So yeah, I think that's definitely a great way to market it. So
Super cheap.
So how are you going to do that though? How are you going to implement that?
implement
So,
the sorry, go ahead.
so there are some of these coins, ones that are like full rug pools where the liquidity is taken out and the coin goes to zero. We're not able to take anything out of that. Same with honeypots if sales are disabled. But there are certain projects that just they end up failing. There's a lot of coins where liquidity is burned or liquidity is renounced. And there was a few when we first launched where there was a few thousand, some of them had like 5-10 grand in liquidity. And as we because we're trying to aim for mass market with the education platform, as we grow and become larger, we should start to be able to actually highlight certain coins if we get some in our wallet that seem to be dead but have large liquidity pools. Then we can try and highlight them to the communities and see if we can bring them in. But this is the Valkyrie wallet as well is part promotion, and we also have again in our tokenomics 1% to charity. So even if at times the donations that come into Valkyrie aren't as large as we would like, especially as we're growing, we are still able to make donations through our tokenomics.
Okay, cool. I like personally, I can't see the mentality of people sending over dust. I can't see it, because anyone that's been in a token or that that's not played out the way that they expected it has just struck it off. If anyone loads in their poo coin and goes into their account, they can see ultimate amounts of shit coins that they've been in that are, do you know what I mean? I personally can't see the pull with that. I like the idea, but I'm a bit
I will
skeptical
say
of how you're going to
within
roll
the
that in.
first couple days of announcing this, we actually were able to pull a few BNB from the Valkyrie wallet from people donating.
Well, that's impressive.
That's astounding.
Yeah,
We actually were able to prove use case on that right away. Actually, we were actually surprised at how much liquidity we were able to pull from our own project, considering it had locked liquidity. So, yeah, we're pretty good at rallying the troops.
Have you got a team of people that are focusing on projects that have died in the Binance Smart Chain that you can do this? Because there's millions of them. Like, there's literally millions of them.
That's not something that we've assigned yet, but that would be something. Like, these are all of the use cases that we'll be developing out. The first one that we'll be working on is the whale tracking app. But we actually already have the back end of the Valkyrie graveyard done, so that I think that the gamerization of it, though, eventually could bring it to a wider platform, other than like also with targeting specific communities that have been rugged. I mean, you are bringing them to a hub of not only information, but also a safe investment that pays out passive rewards as well. So,
can I interject quickly as well?
absolutely.
So the first use case is the crypto sonar, which is a wallet and transaction tracker, and as such, people using crypto sonar will actively be seeing what's happening with different wallets and with different coins they're holding, and we plan on using information crowdsourced from the community to identify coins that are scams, so that we can flag them up in other people's wallets. So things like that, a lot of people are getting dusted with coins where if you actually try and trade them, they'll try and drain your wallet and things like that. So as we see these dust and attacks come in, people can the plan is that people will be able to flag them in crypto sonar. So yeah, one of the ideas is to actually use crypto sonar to integrate into the Valkyrie donation wallet.
Okay, cool. So you would have to use your platform to be able to access that feature.
What, the crypto sonar?
Yeah.
Well, that would be built into crypto sonar, but wouldn't be the only way to access the Valkyrie.
Okay. Cool. I'm with you.
Hello, team.
Yep.
Yeah. Uh, I would like to ask a couple of questions.
Ask away, buddy. Stage is yours.
Yeah. First of all, I would like to give some complimentary and followed by a question. The complimentary is that I got the opportunity to go through the white paper. It looks colorful since more than a white paper. And the logo, whatever you guys have put up, the tree, right? In eastern part of the world, in eastern side of the world, that is in Asia, a tree represents knowledge. I don't know whether you guys have voluntarily mentioned it or not. That is great.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. I actually did not know that that represented knowledge there, but I do know that
Yeah,
it represents the tree of life, which represents all
yeah,
sorts of cool things in all sorts of areas. So,
yeah.
but thank you.
Second thing is that the question here is about the Valkyrie wallet that I was reading through the white paper. You mentioned that, if I'm wrong, the liquidity from failed projects will be collected and used for charity, and the
Yep.
community has the rights to decide upon, right? So, what type
What
of
was
charity we are looking at it? Maybe you can describe upon whether giving food for the poor or a knowledge sharing.
they'll actually be voted on by our community. So actually that's up. We've made sure that we wanted to fulfill every single one of our promises to our V1 holders. So prior to launch, we'll be making our first donation, which was voted on, and that was Doctors Without Borders. But when we did that, we had our community, throw out some names, and we looked into them and vetted them, and then picked like 4 or 5 of them and threw them up in a poll, and then had our community vote. So like I said, we really like a lot of community involvement. So that's probably how that will continue to be done.
Okay.
And
I really like the concept of your whatever you're doing right now on your thing. But in this rusty place or in this BC world, right? The marketing is little bit more into your consciousness to bring to your notice, because most of the projects that whatever we see in the BSC space, they just pump and dump, or for some reason they fail. And I hope that your version one would have got you so many lessons to learn and come to version two. So
Oh, we've
how you
learned
can?
so much since V1, which is so actually we released originally in May and we announced V2 in July, but then during the dip in the market, we told people we were holding off on launching the V2 until the market was back, because we knew that it wasn't a market to launch in. So we've had a lot of time to really think and also watch a lot of launches and study tokenomics and stuff like that, and marketing strategies to really see what works and what doesn't. So I will say that we definitely have seen a lot since we started to be able to make this the best that we possibly can.
So thank you, Alex,
So,
and thank you for your team, and all the best for your V2 version. And I'm really looking at this all the 3 possible use cases that you have listed in your white paper. Thank you very much.
I just want to throw out there that the reason that we let our community vote on the donations is because we are an international team and an international community. Obviously, it's not like mainly based in one area, so we want to make sure that we are helping people near and far. So,
And Doctors Without Borders is a great cause. Really great cause.
absolutely.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I would suggest that since you have some resemblance with your logo related to knowledge, it would be good to share your charity to educational stuff.
Oh,
That's
absolutely. That would be something that we'd absolutely be looking into. I know I've mentioned mental health stuff. We have a lot of plans for all sorts of different charity donations. So, and like I said, we don't have to rely just on the Valkyrie wallet donations in order to do that. We do have 1% of our tax that goes to charity automatically. So.
So let's
Can I
move on.
chime in?
Yeah, dive. Go for it, buddy.
So Alex, just for your charities, I just want you to know, make sure you are getting PR from it, and make sure that the actual charity is big enough for PR, because you can use that as marketing. And
Absolutely.
as bad as it sounds, I kind of feel bad about saying this, but you guys can grow overall
I
a
mean,
lot
we'll make sure to
faster.
strategically market the donations, so that maybe it can bring in some people that wouldn't normally join the crypto sphere.
I think that's a really important part of the donations, right? Like,
Mhm.
I mean, it really you have to use it to your advantage to get more holders. Like it's not like, hey, we're just donating to donate. Well, at the end of the day, you're donating to make a difference, but also to help bring in more holders into the project and bring more into the project.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
there's no shame in using the donations to your advantage to help grow the project. That's the whole point, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
the whole point, because you're obviously doing it because you want to donate to these people, but on the other side of it, you're also donating to grow the project. So there's no shame in that. You definitely want to
For
do
sure.
that. NFTs, and does this say INFTs?
Yes. Ant is going to be better at this than me because he has the gaming background. Don't
Ant
tell
love.
anybody he used to work at Rockstar.
Oh wow. Oh wow, we got a GTA guy in the house. Can you tell us when GTA 6? No, I'm just kidding. So, INFT.
I quit after GTA 5.
Well, good for you. That was probably a good decision. INFTs, brother. What is an INFT?
So the original concept for INFTs was originally put forward by a developer that's no longer on the project, and this was when we first launched the V1, which is why we've now moved it further down our list of use cases, so we have time to properly prepare and get that set up. So what we'll be looking for is effectively creating. Like the original concept was a Viking Tamagotchi, but that's now being used in a different way on a different project. So we are reevaluating how we want to handle the INFTs, and we're thinking that we can create some form of, it's hard to explain. Like, so preferably, we'd actually like to try and get some form of game created, but this is very long term. We have other use cases in advance of it. So yeah, we would like to try and implement a gamer system as part of the included in the gamification, and try and include it with Valkyrie. It's early concept, which is why we moved it to the back of our roadmap. So
Yeah, it
I
makes
can't give more on that. I've been very focused on the initial use cases first, and we want to get the NFTs out through our artist collaborations. The interactive NFTs are a long-term plan.
okay. And then so INFT stands for interactive NFT. That's good.
Yep.
So the merchandise store is really the bottom of the list here. This is you guys are going to be branding all sorts of different things. And I imagine this money is going to be allocated in a certain way to help the chart and or help your initiatives. Do you guys mind speaking on that a little?
Yeah, we will be using revenue from that to go towards the project itself and possibly back to holders. And then also to be able to pay the artists that make the work a substantial, a decent amount, because there's a lot of places where artists don't get what they deserve, I feel like. So we'd like to be able to give some very talented unknown artists a platform as well. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's good. I like the idea of e-commerce and DeFi merging. I think that moving forward, there's going to be a TJ Maxx token, there's going to be a Costco token, a Walmart token. I think that all of Amazon token, like it's just a matter of time until this like the Wallet Connect thing catches up with e-commerce, because it only makes sense to have your own token so that you can reward holders for holding your token and everything like that. Yeah, Kong, I agree. The logo is top notch. The logo is beautiful. It's not. Listen, I've done a lot of branding in my day, and I know a logo like that, custom, is not cheap to get made unless you have a really good artist friend that can make it for you. So yeah, the logo
I
is
may have a very, very good artist friend.
good. So
Actually, a couple of them. Something that we've already like started kicking off, which you got to right now, is we've hosted a couple Twitch events as well with a she's actually a pretty well-known live festival painter in the like US like electronic and jam band community. Um and we had her do some live streaming of painting, which was actually interactive with our community, so they were able to like kind of help guide where the painting went. She's not done. We have one more session left on that. We held off on it, but we're going to be continuing and auctioning off the pieces and stuff.
So we've been moving a little slow because I've been focusing on the utility. So I want to hop to the tokenomics here. My apologies there. We're 35 minutes in. We haven't even talked about the taxes.
Oh no.
So yeah, let's talk about this. Your tax is 20% in and out.
It is currently in and out, but every single one of those taxes is changeable individually to allow us to do promotions for lower buy-in tax, as well as the fact that, like I said, 10% goes back to holders in the form of BUSD, which I don't know if anybody has been in a rewards token where they hold and are getting some decent volume. That is very, very nice. That passive income is very, very nice. I know Ant and I are both in something that pays out 11% rewards and are very, very happy about it. So
Yeah, well, 10% rewards are fat, especially when there's high volume. It's huge. I mean, 10% rewards is massive. The taxes are high, Italian Panda, but remember, this is they're trying to discourage people from pumping and dumping their chart. They want a
yeah, that
long-term
is.
project here.
Yeah, we are hoping to get long-term holders and diamond handers. Like I said, we will be doing promotions with lower buy tax. So, I mean, if you're waiting to buy in, there will definitely be those.
And don't forget,
But we
guys,
we
not
want to
paying tax.
discourage pump and dumping our coin. So
Yeah, and you're not paying tax when you buy pre-sale, right? So this
you're not
does.
paying tax when you buy pre-sale.
Yes, so for those of you that don't know, the pre-sale is open, and listen, we've all been spoiled with this pink sale, DX sale thing where everyone hypes everything up and things fill in 5 seconds flat. But back in the day, before this, when people did their pre-sales like this on their own, things didn't fill instantly, and good projects filled slower, right? So just because the pre-sale isn't filled yet, don't be like, well, it must not be a good opportunity. It's not true at all. It's because they're just getting the word out there. Alex, how many AMAs have you done?
This is our first one outside of our actual community, and we've not done any marketing yet other than some whitelist giveaways in our call groups. So, or in some call groups. So
Listen to it, guys. Listen to it,
we
okay?
also raised $100, or I mean 100 BNB in private sale from our V1 holders as well, with no marketing.
Okay, and how much of that's going to liquidity of that 100 beans?
The 100 beans is being used right now to market the pre-sale and launch and initial developing costs from private sale. But that we also have it as a reserve if we don't hit the hard cap, or I mean the soft cap, to be able to pair with liquidity. But everything from this pre-sale is going to be paired with liquidity.
Okay, and how long is this sale going to run for?
This is going until tomorrow evening.
Tomorrow evening. Okay. Okay, so and what's going to liquidity from this 300?
All 300.
Wow, great news. I love hearing that. That's great to hear. So 10% rewards. Like she said, if you guys have never been a part of a token where you're holding a large portion of the supply and there's 10% rewards, it is wildly awesome. Okay. It is great. Like the rewards are epic. Like think about it. Think about it this way. If there is $1 million in volume on the first day, the rewards they're going to pay out what is that? That's like 100 grand, right? Yeah, that's 100,000. 10% of a million is $100,000. So there will be $100,000 in rewards that go out to the holders. And let's say you hold 1% of the supply, you'll get $1,000, right? My
Yeah,
math.
Anti, that token that I was mentioning earlier, that pays out 11% rewards, just in like 3 days when they had like some crazy pumps from just a little bit of marketing, um, I think we collected around 2 grand each in reward, just passive rewards, and that was off of a one BNB investment.
Yeah.
I need a sheesh button. Sheesh. I need a sheesh button. That's gonna happen today. I'll get one. Um, yeah. So I think that's huge, and the taxes are high, but this is one of those tokens where you buy it on pre-sale, and you buy it on pre-sale, and then you hold it. You hold it through the major pump. You hold it through the first initial profit-taking sell-off, and then you hold it and hold it and hold it and collect the passive rewards. And as long as
And
these
if you
guys
don't
deliver
buy it on pre-sale, you buy it when we do a promo where you can buy in cheap.
exactly, but you got the opportunity to buy it on pre-sale right now, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and yeah, so as long as these guys and girls do their marketing properly, then you're gonna look at crazy volume, at least in the front part of trading, when trading goes live, and the rewards typically are wild. So yeah, that's interesting. And then as far as the what is this? So 4 team controlled wallets that are blacklisted. They hold a total of 20% of the supply between 4 wallets. And this is to collect rewards and put this back into the community, into promotions and things like that, correct?
Yep, there's a list of example promotions. I mean, obviously, there's other things we could do, but there's a pretty decent list of some pretty cool things we can do with those. So we can do buyback and LP pairs of our own token. We can do buyback and burns. We can do buyback and airdrops of Valhalla to a partner token. We could change the reward token on those wallets to a partner token and airdrop those tokens to Valhalla holders. We can use it for giveaways, and also we can turn the rewards on and off on those wallets. So when they're disabled, more rewards are then dispersed to holders. And then the really cool thing is that these wallets then sit as a reserve of tokens, so that if we do want to list on some exchanges, we can then essentially kill off a whale wallet and use those tokens for listing. So
That's huge. That's
yeah.
really cool. Staking, farming, exchanges, whatever you want to do, you've got the tokens to do it from the very beginning.
Yep. And the really cool thing about that is that 40% of our supply is locked at launch. So that will create a really solid price floor as well. So
Yeah, really huge. How many holders are getting airdropped from the migration?
I believe, and did we say we had about 150, 160?
Oh, that's not much.
I believe when I did the airdrop, it was 178 holders, and a lot of them are diamond hands who've been very supportive of the product from launch. Some of them have been holding the coin for 200 days without selling.
I
God.
have seen some of the friendliest whales in our project than I've ever seen in any other project, I think.
Wow.
We have very,
Well,
very supportive community.
What percentage of the supply is it
To
for
those
the
The
airdrop?
people.
airdrop was 8% of total supply.
Airdrop was
Oh,
12%. Private sale was 8%.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
that's not bad.
No, especially if they're all diamond fisting, and a lot of them bought the private, right?
Yeah, a lot of them bought
Yes.
into private sale and are just planning on holding for the rewards. So we have some diehard Valhalla fans. So
Is there a max wallet here?
we do have a max wallet holding. It's currently set at 1%, I believe.
We
Okay.
had to adjust it. We had when we did the airdrops to our V1 holder, there was one donator who had donated to Odin, and to try and support. He actually set himself up as the backbone of the project, directly behind our original Odin wallet. And when we completed the airdrop, he held just over 1%. So we are going to lock, because we have which we'll get into in a little bit as well, an unrenounced contract that is handled by a multi-sig, we will adjust so that that wallet will be locked as the max wallet. No one can go higher than, I believe, 1.2% holdings.
What will a max buy get me here on this pre-sale? If max is 3 beans, so if I put 3 beans in, what percentage of the supply am I going to get?
0.2. It's 2 billion tokens. One
Okay.
BNB is 666,666,666.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So then we got a team wallet and then the founders token, where these aren't going to be sold. Well, the team wallets over time will be vested in unlocked and sold if needed.
If needed, we're anticipating not needing them. So
Yeah.
they would be either relocked or used for exchange listing, etc.
Any questions from the community before we move on? We got a ton of questions in the chat. NFT plan. Yeah, there is an NFT plan. Is Valhalla being audited?
Valhalla has actually already been audited, and I KYC'd with Desert Swap, and we got a perfect score from Desert Swap. I can actually, let me drop the link to that.
It's actually pinned here in the
Cool.
bottom of this message. It says audit. You can click on the audit, and we'll pull that up right now. I'll get the audit on screen. It has been audited though, which is positive. That's good. So let me just pop this in. Yeah, this is the audit with Desert Swap, Desert Finance, and you guys have provided them with KYC.
Yep.
Which is their Desert Doxed. They call it Desert Doxed.
Yep. My driver's license and everything.
Wow, look at that. So that's good.
If it means anything, I can vouch for her.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's dive it down, ladies and gentlemen. Vouching for Alex. Alex and I have mutual friends too. We're in different groups together, private groups together. We've got mutual friends. I was given a solid recommendation on this AMA. I was told, yes. Why not use Pink Sale? ND wants to know, why did you not use Pink Sale, Alex?
Okay, so actually, Pink Sale, so they charge $1 to do their launch one BNB to do their launch platform, and then they charge another, I believe, 4 BNB to do the KYC, and the AMA, and then they keep 2% of all tokens sold on the platform, as well as 2% of all BNB raised, which we didn't want. We had heard, just questionable things. So we just wanted to make sure that, nobody was able to dump our token, because that would be holding more of the supply than we would like somebody to hold. And we are not paying any of our team in token. All of the marketing wallet and stuff gets auto converted to the rewards token. So we never have to dump our own chart to pay anybody. And we don't want anybody to have to dump our chart to pay themselves. So that's the incentive of the rewards for holders, and also how we'll be paying our team for marketing.
Okay, that answer your question, ND. We've got some other questions in the chat. Let me just scroll up here and read through some of them. Audited, yes. Does pre-sale system have any function that prevents holders with mini tokens from having power and possible monopolization? Yes, there's a 1% max wallet. So there's a 1% max wallet on it. So people won't be able to hold more than 1% of the supply. If that answers your 4 team-controlled whale wallets will hold a total of supply of 20%, 4% holding 4 wallets holding 5% each. Sorry. Yeah. To elaborate on that, those wallets are there. They're blacklisted. They're designed just to collect the rewards, the 10% BUSD rewards, so they can soak up a good majority of those rewards, so that they have the funds to keep the project moving without relying solely on the marketing funds to cover everything.
It'll allow us also to do some awesome promotions and partnerships and stuff, and do some really cool stuff for our community. So, and also all of those wallets are controlled via multi-sig. So no one person has access. There has to be 2 people to sign off on all those transactions. In fact, our contract itself is handled by multi-sig. So.
Oh, perfect. So are you guys gonna do any type of like happy hour system, almost like SSB did the choppy seas thing where the buy tax went down and the sell tax went up because Italian Panda raised the concern with taxes being so high, trading volume could become an issue. As far
Well,
as
that's
incentive
why we kept all of those values changeable. So if we do see an issue with it causing people not to want to trade, we can lower the tax and do a community vote. But yes, we absolutely plan on doing some promos with it lowered buy tax and maybe increased sell tax for a little bit while that's going on. So
Could I talk a little bit more about the wallets as well quickly?
yeah, absolutely.
So while they hold 20%, they're blacklisted so they can never be sold. That alongside the 5% founder wallets, which were also blacklisted. And we also, instead of burning any leftover, we'll be putting them in a reserve, which we can possibly use for future exchange listings. All of those are blacklisted, and they create a very, very strong price floor for at least with the 5% locked team tokens as well. 40% of the tokens at launch are unsellable, and as such will create a very, very strong price floor.
Yeah,
Add all of our diamond hands and you got a very strong price floor.
Yeah, those tokens being in circulation and being unsellable is really important. It's really important as opposed to them being burned and unsellable. Them being in circulation and unsellable is better for the market cap. Instead of it being diluted, it's going to be undiluted, which is positive, which is a positive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
So
we can turn on and off the rewards to those wallets. So as well as being able to adjust tax, we could make a decision to say, actually, 2 of these wallets will have their rewards temporarily disabled for a day, a week, and anytime we turn off rewards on one of those wallets, that immediately increases the rewards to holders without ever having to change the tax.
perfect. We already answered this, right? How did the project get the name? That was just kind of
Yep.
random, right?
We did answer that. So actually it came because it was a test token for another token, but it was very fitting for, I feel like, what we were trying to do. So, and like I said, for me, myself, coming on, it was a very fitting name because I do like Norse mythology very much.
Victor Cruz said reward tokens make the chart look horrible because the contract is always selling. How do you guys plan on combating that?
And
So we can adjust the frequency of when they do the sales. But yeah, if you were to look at PooCoin, there will be certain sales that will show up as one sell at the bottom. But as long as there is consistent buy and sell volume coming in, they don't always affect the chart because they each buy and sell should be happening continuously instead of seeing large dumps when certain amounts are sold. It should normally happen continuously. So while a lot of people are doing large buys, the chart necessarily won't grow as quickly because there are those sales happening. They also shouldn't cause dumps on the chart because it's consistent. If you were receiving your reward in reflections, the only way to take profit from your reward would be to dump the chart yourself. So yeah, if you were to do rewards and reflection, you'll end up seeing people that are incentivized to sell instead of incentivized to hold. So there is a bit of a trade-off as you see consistent selling from the token, but it does mean that you're not incentivized to sell to take profit.
Makes sense. I mean, that's a good answer. Good way to combat it. Miss Aria wants to know how you guys are going to manage the launch, knowing now that we're all experienced BSC lagging constantly with this BSC congestion.
we've dealt with that a lot during testing. So obviously, I mean, if there's anything that is clogging BSC to the point where transactions aren't going through, we would have to postpone the launch until BSC in general is not congested. But I believe it should be pretty manageable. We're hoping by Monday, which is launch. So
Also,
Makes sense.
the contract is also already verified and ready to go. To launch, all we have to do is pair LP and hit a trigger to launch the contract. So a lot of the work that can delay launches, such as verifying the contract, that's already done.
Yeah, cool. And then just educate people. Tell them increase that gas. Increase that
Yeah.
gas.
Yeah,
Won't
you
be
better
there.
increase that gas.
Yeah. So if they have whale wallets that block selling, why not send them to the burn address? Really simple answer for this, DGZ, because if you send those wallets to the burn address, they can no longer collect rewards. And what's beautiful about the way they set these whale wallets up is they can turn the rewards on and off specifically for those wallets. So if they want to do some type of happy hour where the rewards increase and the taxes go down, they can turn the rewards off on those wallets and have all of those rewards that would go to those wallets go directly to the holders, which is great. So does your project support staking? Are you guys going to include staking? I didn't see it anywhere in the roadmap.
We
Right?
would like to include staking, and that is something that we've looked into, but there's only at least from what I've looked into, there's only one platform that I know of that will support a rewards token with staking, where you're still getting your reward dividends. So we're waiting on hearing back from them. So
Alex,
yes.
so you said you have a Solidity developer, right?
Yes.
If you look into Nano Dogecoin,
Yep.
their staking platform, you can actually just copy their code and transfer it to your token, and it would support reflections and staking.
Beautiful.
Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Thank God Dive It Down is still in the house. Dive deserves a round of applause for his nugget of information. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. I will use that in the future myself. Can reward tokens split BNB off when people buy the token so it doesn't impact the chart? Not really. So all the taxes are always collected in the native token, and then if they want to transfer it over into BNB or BUSD, the contract has to trigger a sell in order to get to transfer the token into any other asset. It has to trigger a sell. You can't. It would be nice if you could tax the BNB and pull the BNB out. That's the future. Maybe on ADA, but not on BSC. When Elon, that's probably not coming yet. Maybe down the road. Buy him a case of beer. Might do it.
He did post about Vikings on the moon a couple weeks ago.
Foreshadowing. Foreshadowing. I need a foreshadowing button too. Can I
Right?
ask what platform they use for the airdrop? For the airdrop, in what regard? I didn't see an airdrop campaign on here. You mean for the private sailors? Probably just coin tools or something to send out.
Ant actually cranked all of the airdrops out manually last night. It took him about 8 hours.
So
Well,
they weren't
that's
sent.
outrageous.
They weren't sent one by one. They were sent in batches using Gnosis multisig. They allow for batched airdrops. However, I wanted to verify, so I did the airdrops in smaller batches instead of sending out 400 transactions at once. I sent them out in a smaller amounts.
Will CLM have a whitelist? Really, there's no need for a whitelist, right? We have the pre-sale link right here that we can.
Nope, the pre-sale is ongoing.
Jump in and it's there right now. Also, I got tripped up earlier on the INFT question. I've referred back to the notes we made a little while back. And so it is possible to inject code and scripts into your NFTs. So while we have plans long term for an INFT game, we also are looking at making. You can make puzzles, and we have artists where you can where we would implement some of their art into puzzles that will be interacted with. There are ways to create like fractals that can be adjusted using values built into NFTs. So yeah, I got caught off guard earlier, but I've
You should also mention that there are plans to partner, and we've already had meetings with, and he is a good friend of ours. A project that's doing very, very well right now. We can't reveal it yet, but they're sitting at about almost 200 mil market cap right now. So
yeah, it's the answer I would love to have given to the INFT question, but legally we can't talk about it. But there is a partnership in the lineup that we cannot talk about that are doing some very interesting things in yeah.
Well, no
But
hard
we
feelings. It wouldn't be a coin launch AMA if somebody didn't get tripped up. That's what we do around here. The whole idea is to trip people up. No, I'm just kidding. So,
I
Miss
checked back to my
Maria,
notes. I should have had them up at first. My apologies.
yeah, no worries, no worries. Miss Aria, we all experience scammed project, even if it's KYC'd audited docs team. The question is, how safe is the contract? Because prevention is better than the cure. Well, I can tell you, I don't know. I don't know Alex here personally, but the recommendations that I've received on her are like, very put her in very, very high regard. Um, very high
Thank
regard. So
you.
as far as safe with her, your funds are safe with her, in my personal opinion. The contract was written by somebody reputable, Alex.
It was actually put together by our Solidity developer. His name is Isaac, and he actually does Solidity, as Ant said earlier, Solidity-based YouTube tutorial videos as well. And yes, he's very reputable.
And
He's worked on another project that we know of recently as well that's doing very well as well.
and he is also doxed on the website.
Yep.
Perfect. I want these rewards. I want these rewards. I want the 10% rewards. I can tell you that. But
So
I don't
do
want to
we.
be 20% to get them. So the pre-sale is looking like my best option, right?
Yeah, unless you want to wait until a promo.
Yeah,
Wait by
I
the
would
top.
say getting in on the pre-sale when you get the especially as you launch the amount of rewards you get when a coin first launches are absurd. And then we already have plans in regards to marketing to keep a consistent flow instead of having your launch pump. There's a lot of coins we've seen recently who will launch CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap all simultaneously. And doing that removes what gives so much momentum at the beginning. You're bound to have a big dump. So we have a more strategic plan to get listed on those platforms as a rollout to continue to keep interest instead of just instant pump, instant dump.
You know what? You guys almost tripped me up. You guys almost tripped me up because we're at the end of the AMA here, and I have not asked the golden question. For all the people still listening, when the AMA ends, the giveaways will start, so it's not the time to leave. But this is the question we ask everybody, Alex, that comes through here. Okay, I'm
Mhm.
sure you have a question because I've seen you in an AMA at this point. This is the question. In Binance Smart Chain, everyone suffers from shiny new object syndrome. Okay, they want to jump from this project to this project to this project. It's the way that they have been conditioned. Okay, there's millions of live BEP20 tokens, as you know, with your Valkyrie wallet, and there are thousands of active sales between just a few launch pads. Okay, hundreds of tokens go live every single day. Why, Alex, should this community listening right now go and participate in your pre-sale above all the other pre-sales they have the opportunity to participate in?
I think that our token really incentivizes its holders to hold based on not just the passive income, but also the utility of the token itself. It provides you access to all sorts of trading tools and tutorials and things like that, and really incentivizes people to use our token as part of our ecosystem and also be rewarded for holding it um, while doing something good for the general community as well.
And as you said in the feed up to that question as well, you talk about how there's constantly IDO platforms and coins launching all over the place. And our plan is to become established and to become one of them. So people will be coming to us frequently. It's one of our longer term goals. But yeah, as we become established as a safe place, then people will be coming to us to IDO. And at that point, we have consistent volume because our coin will be in some way involved in the IDO platform.
Well, I think that's a damn good answer if you ask me. I'm going to put the pre-sale one more time in the chat here the link for the pre-sale. For those of you that are interested in this project and you believe in Alex and Ant and the rest of the team and you want to see where this goes, feel free to click on that link that I just put in the chat and contribute. Connecting your wallet to their website is safe. I know we go over this in the anti-scam class, not to connect to random websites. For the people that want to send the BNB in directly to the wallet, is that an option, Alex?
What was that?
For people that
No.
want to
So
send BNB,
I mean, it's something we could consider, but we created this is essentially when you connect, you're not connecting for us to get into your wallet. You're connecting essentially to BSC scan, a smart contract that is basically coded to receive BNB to a pre-sale wallet, which will be paired for liquidity, and then you automatically receive your tokens.
Smart, super
Yep.
cool.
So you can purchase the token through BSC scan. You can actually look at the contract and make the purchase through BSC scan without ever touching our website.
Wow, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful way to set that up. I've never seen that before. So smart way to set it up.
Thank you.
So what do you guys do you have anything, guys and girls, do you have anything that you want to add before we go ahead and conclude the recording?
Myself and Ant.
Yeah. Or
Go
anybody.
ahead, Ant. I didn't know if you were
Obviously,
asking if anybody had any questions.
we've been working and planning for several of our use cases for a while, and as you've seen, we've already put a video up of the early alpha of one. We are planning to continue developing that out. We are planning on actually trying to get that out Q1 of next year. So in the first couple of months of next year, we should have a version of our platform that people can already start using. So yeah, we're working quickly to try and get usability out as fast as possible.
Yeah, we know a lot of projects don't deliver on the utility, so that is something we've been working on in the background this whole time. So
Yeah. And utility will come shortly after launch, the whale tracker.
yeah, we're hoping within the first quarter of this coming year, so within January, February.
Perfect. Well, I'm really looking forward to using the utility and the whale tracker in particularly. And will I be able to see the people that are tracking my wallets? Not see
That is
them,
an
to see how
interesting
many
question. Currently, you cannot, I don't think, but I mean,
add
it
that
is
because
something that we could potentially implement.
I
I'm not.
personally
Yeah, I'm
changed my
not. I
wallets.
think
Like,
the.
yeah, go.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not sure. I'm not sure how feasible that would be, because it's important for us to also be careful about security. We want to hold as little data on people as possible.
I guess I don't
And
want to know who's tracking me. I want to know how many people are tracking me because I personally swap my wallets out like once every 14 days. All my wallets, create all new wallets
wow.
and yeah. And so yeah, and so I would like to see who is watching my wallets and not who, but how many people are watching my wallets because I've got this theory that there's a couple people currently watching my wallets. But yeah, we won't dive into that. But I think it would be a cool
Something like
feature.
total amount may be possible.
At least total amount of people using it or watching it through Valhalla through the whale tracker.
Yeah, through the whale tracker. Yeah.
I think that would be cool. And maybe a
Yeah,
leaderboard,
something like that
the
may be
most watched
feasible.
wallets.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
We're
We've
actually
also
hoping to be able to aggregate information as well from our user base, as well as the Valkyrie wallet on, and basically have a database of known scam creator contracts, or creator wallets that create contracts as well. So basically a general hub for safe trading.
You guys should link up with JoinCoin and get a JoinCoin profile before they go live. Just throwing that out there because
We'll have
they
to
share a
look
lot of the same initiatives with you, and they're about to go live, and it could be good PR.
Very
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, cool. So
Anyway.
pre-sales live, guys. Go check it out. If you're interested in Valhalla, being an investor in Valhalla, then go check out their pre-sale. It's live. It is in the chat. I will drop it in the chat again right now. Here it is. Go check it out, guys. And any questions from the community before we close the recording and get to the giveaway? I think we covered it all, guys. I mean, I've asked a lot of the questions in the chat and then soaked up uh, pretty much any question anybody could have. I think so. Um, that being said, it was an absolute pleasure having you both here in the Coin Launch Lounge. Thank you very much for doing it, especially so last minute. I mean, we scheduled this like what 40 minutes before the first AMA today. So
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
thank you very much for coming in last minute. I'm really excited on the project and really excited to see where you guys can take the project. I myself will be participating in your pre-sale and reaping the benefits of those 10% BUSD rewards. Um, Alex in the Wonderland, take me to Valhalla. Oh my God, we started that. Oh my God. Um, Crypto Gavin, I won't forget it. So I'm
Let's
gonna go ahead
go.
and conclude the recording. Thank you guys very much for coming into the Coin Launch Lounge, and I'll see everyone tomorrow.
Thank you.